on Twitch. So head over. It's the same names on Instagram. Noir Neon Vibes on Twitch. So make sure you head over there. Bro, why you on the road? You can still watch on your phone. So it's like, yeah, just go to Twitch, go to Noir Neon Vibes. I'm live right now. So I should see a couple of y'all in the views. And you can like it's okay to share your opinions. I want to have an open dialogue, haha vacation. Nobody asked you to be on a vacation, sir. Uh, uh, hey y'all, welcome to Virtual Road Rage. I'm so glad that you're able to join this live stream and be part of the discussion. Just remember, keyword is try. I will try to have a live stream every Wednesday. The time may vary, it may fluctuate because again, school is starting soon. I'm doing PDs, I may be doing a bit of overtime, but I will try to dedicate at least an hour to y'all where I can vent about things that just piss me off. It's cheaper than therapy, and I can't really drive for real. So this is the next best option. Excuse me. I have my coffee. I'm ready to go. All right. Today's topic we will focus on transphobia. It's always existed, but the conversation has resurfaced over a recent issue. But as Anira and Saquon, as we are all talking, feel free to give your opinion in the chat and speak because we want to hear what you have to say about it, how it may be affecting you or people around you. If you have questions, as long as it's respectful, we will answer it. Um, but like I said earlier, we are all literate. We will read you. The library will be open if any of y'all are out of line. Because even though I'm a cis straight woman, I do work with trans youth and I will get offended. Uh, Anira is non-binary, go by they them. And wait, Saquon, are you also non-binary? I can't remember.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so like I had two like non-binary commentators with me. So and we're gonna break down everything from like the definitions to what's been recently happening is the constant misconceptions and things like that. So that's all gonna be broken down in this episode. All right. But first, if you would like to join me in a future game of Mario Kart, here's my friend code. Make sure you screenshot it, pause it if you're watching this on YouTube. Um, get this friend code and just add me, and maybe we could, race while we're on a future stream. Based on how I've been doing in the regionals and worldwide, you may have a chance of winning. Uh, it it's a little tricky with the steering wheel, but I wanted it, so we'll see. We'll see. I don't really practice that much off of this stream because I really don't have time to, but it's still fun to me. All right, I don't know why I'm clicking this like I could change something on Twitch, I swear. All right, so on to the game. So the reason why we're having this conversation about the trans community because recently Wildin' Out star Just Hilarious has been all over the internet being very transphobic. Um, this all started with her. She was on a podcast sharing about her experience being mistaken as a trans woman. Because was it just one guy or different men have been sliding in her DMs about this? I'm trying to
Um, I,
remember.
it
I
was
think
most.
she said, yeah, it was one guy.
Okay. So, it started with that, and then why did it go back? Mm, there you go. Okay, make sure I didn't slip in. And in that conversation, she was being transphobic, and then uh, one user was very vocal in terms of like saying that women do not gatekeep periods. Um, in womanhood, like y'all don't own that, and ooh, just just really like just had a whole rant. And could y'all sum up like some of the things that she said that was just completely out of line? Because she said a lot, like a lot.
Uh, so basically, she was just going on a rant about how trans women are trying to compete and basically hijack womanhood from like cis women, and like I feel like she thinks that they're trying to take over and become like take. I don't even know what like. It's just so hilarious. Like it's so weird to me. I can't even put it into words. Saquon, just take it away.
Okay, first of all, because I have so much to say, just hilarious. That video you mentioned earlier about the trans young lady who mentioned that periods and other things aren't just directed by cis women. They're also something that trans men go through because trans men also have periods. That is a video
Hmm.
posted 2 years ago.
Yes, and
So
I feel like someone brought that. I forgot. I think a Republican brought that clip out,
yeah,
and they just put that part, specifically that part, and they just put it out, and they just y'all took the bait. Y'all took the goddamn bait. And
Hmm.
it's just showing like in the video, the girl wasn't even talking about trans women coming for like having periods, or like it was talking about how
oh,
like cis
trans
women aren't
men.
yeah, how cis women aren't the only ones who own like have periods. Like it's just people with a uterus have periods, and I think that people are I think cis women specifically are being like they're scared of like they're being very ignorant and very like it's
Mm,
just weird. Like the terminology is updated now, and they're feeling like they're being left out because they first of all, if you don't want to be called, this is off topic, but if you don't want to be, no one's gonna call you a birthing person. Like if you don't want to be called that, you can still be called like a mom. Like no one's forcing you to use that terminology.
right.
We're asking you to respect the terminology, the updated language and terminology that we're using for other people's identities so they could be respected. There's a
Mhm.
Hmm.
total
Mhm.
difference. And I just think that it's just the irrational fear that not trans women, cis women, like most cis women have of like people trying, like trans women trying to come and take their place. It's just weird to me.
Not to
Yeah.
mention,
Go
it's
ahead. Go
very
ahead.
not very weird and off-putting. But I see a lot of trans women do this in such a tone and such a defense, being like, "Oh, well, I'm a real woman. This is what men want." Why are you doing all this for a man? Come on now, friend.
Mm. Come on now.
That's the part that really fucks me up because you sitting there doing all this misogynistic shit as a woman. The Barbie movie just came out, friend. Go watch it again. Like, come on now. And it's just so weird to me how cis women sit there and be like, oh, you're not a real woman, you're not a real woman. That's the point.
Mhm.
That's the point. Like, you correct. You made the point. Nobody wants the person who transitioned because they, they weren't in the right body. Point blank period.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
they made the transition to help them, you know, and for you to sit there and you put labels of real or that a real woman, all this stuff. You know how immature
Oh,
and meaning that is to somebody. You live your whole life, feeling some type of way of like, oh, you don't feel right. That's like
mhm.
having a skin that you didn't. No matter when you scratched it or whatever the case may be, it just kept on itching your body, and you finally have a way to cure it just for people to go online and ridicule you and other people just like you, saying that you are authentic. When the whole point of real women is a social freaking construct created by a white man.
And
Mhm.
then And then black women don't even fit. I'm not even trying to like black women don't even fit like it was when they were talking about
Oh
femininity
my
and what it
god.
really means to be a woman in social constructs. Black women were not even considered like they weren't even considered human. So it's really weird for me. Not I keep saying weird. It's really disheartening to see trans women. I mean, black women, cis black women attack like just go on trans women like this. It's really embarrassing, and it just shows like the whole like real woman thing is just so stupid to me because congratulations, you got a vagina. You were born with a vagina. Congratulations. That like what really makes you a woman? Like for real, we
Hmm.
got. I just really feel like we need to start challenging. They challenge trans women's womanhood all the time. We need to start challenging these cis women. Like really, what really makes you a woman besides what you were born with? Like what really makes you a woman? Like we don't quit. Like I feel like we need to question what womanhood really means, and is it and I think it has expanded from just having a vagina and being able to produce. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because that's what
Exactly, because
it's
there are plenty of women who opt out and choose not to have children. There are plenty of women
mhm.
who don't have periods, who can't give birth, and all this other stuff. There are plenty
Uh-huh.
of biological women who who either do these or choose not to do certain things, and they're still women. Like I said, women or womanhood is a social contract created to better patriarchy. Period.
Right.
Mhm. I had a conversation with on two different occasions with I'm sorry I was talking to men, gross. But anyways, I was having a conversation with them about the whole like the trans community, and they were like, oh, one of them was like, yeah, I don't really like I don't agree with the trans lifestyle. It's like, why are you trying to be a woman? You're not. And I was just looking at him like, you sound stupid as fuck, bro. I was literally arguing with this man in a car. Like we were supposed to be going on a date, so
I
I
guess
didn't
that's
know
a
he was
deal breaker.
transphobic. I didn't know he was transphobic before I got in the car. I'm
It'd be
sitting here
like
I,
arguing
that.
with this man outside the AMC.
I'm so
So
sorry.
Did you still make him pay for dinner? I
I
would still made him
did.
pay for
I
dinner.
did. I did. I still got dined. I'm not with like you're gonna pay for this meal. I wasn't gonna pay. I ain't even bring my wallet. Anyways,
And you shouldn't. Pretty privileged. Pretty privileged. Okay.
but we were just he was just saying that like women are really the protectors of life. They give life. And I'm saying like I said y'all only see women as like baby makers. Like there are women who can't do that. Like you just said, Saquon, there are women that can't produce like that can't have kids that don't get periods. And they're what are they? What are they? They're women. Y'all are just going like these y'all we're finding contradictions in y'all like loophole like really this criteria to be a woman. There's loopholes. Like it's not really adding up to me for real. Because
Not to,
Bruh.
womanhood is
Um,
not
just
to
feel like
mention
if you identify as a woman, you're a woman.
exactly, and
right.
that's in the patriarchy part because because womanhood is defined by you giving birth. The people who are giving birth are and the people who are considered pretty in patriarchy are white women, aka white men have babies with white women to create more white men. That's what was considered a woman. When womanhood and all that and femininity and all that stuff was created, black women weren't thought of, and that's why we have colorism now. Is because the topic of beauty and femininity is considered to be light skin, straight hair, and Eurocentric features. Nobody wants a big nose. Nobody
Mm,
wants all this other stuff. And all these white women on Earth are trying to be as close as black as possible without being black. You know what I'm saying? Kim
right.
Kardashian is a great point. What's her sister name? The one with the fake ass lips? Kylie.
Kylie Jenner.
Sure.
Yes, you have these white women who want to emulate and be black so bad, and yet they still want to hold on to that white card because being black is only popular. You know what I'm saying?
I think
And
you wait. I think you might have been a little off topic, but if you're going to talk about like plastic surgery, what
mm,
a lot of people don't realize is like when you do any type of like body modification,
It's gender
it's
affirming, right?
yeah,
yes,
Yes.
exactly.
it's like you
Like
feel
breast
like
augmentation is like not even like they call top surgery mutilation, but it's no less riskier than a breast augmentation.
or
It's
like a
Hmm.
literally
mastectomy.
yeah, like it's literally just wanting your outsides to match your insides. Women go through that cis women go through that all the time, getting their breasts done, their ass done. Like you want to look like I don't know, whatever your version of a woman you want to be, that's your version.
Mhm.
I feel as though y'all should, and trans, that's the same thing with trans people. They just want to do the same thing. They want their outsides to match with the person they are on the inside. And it
Exactly.
doesn't like, and I just feel like that whole like plastic surgery thing, like they were like, oh, y'all fake, y'all not real. It's just like, it's just rooted deeply. We already know it's rooted deeply, and it's hypocritical, and it's rooted deeply in transphobia. So it's
Mhm.
just like,
Because you're not
I
saying
just
it to the
don't
one
like,
that gets the BBL.
yeah, you're not saying it to. I was about to say something wrong. Never
Like,
mind.
you know what I
You're
mean?
not saying
Like,
it to the girl that's getting the BBL, but you're saying it to the girl that's getting the FFS. Like,
Mhm.
come on.
what is that? What's FFF?
It's feminization surgery,
Yeah,
facial
Oh, like
feminization
what
surgery.
Gigi Good did to her face?
Yeah, and Bosco.
Okay, got it.
I love GP. Okay, honey.
I do too.
But the point I was trying to make is that the whole idea of womanhood and femininity and all that stuff was based off of a white man's position of power, and so he emulated the beauty standards into other people and other races. So either which way, no matter what it is, what a woman looks like is only based off of what a white man's opinion is,
Mm,
who made that opinion way back when, before any of us was born, and we are still emulating it, which is only fucking us over even more. And when I say us, I don't mean just black people. I mean everybody in the mix.
right.
Because what a lot of people fail to realize is misogyny doesn't just hurt women; it also hurts men too. The number one
Mm.
cause of death for men, I think, between 25 and 35,
Is
or 25.
suicide or unaliving?
Exactly,
Unaliving.
exactly, exactly. And misogyny
Mhm.
is a big part in that, because you have a lot of men who don't feel comfortable talking about their feelings and don't feel comfortable, expressing themselves, because misogyny plays a part. And misogyny and misogynistic and misogynoir culture, men can't talk about their feelings. Men can't do this. Men can't do that. They have to be these big, strong things, and la 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 la. And so when you build this mold, and when people can't conform to this mold, they break under pressure.
Right,
Same
because
thing.
it's considered being feminine, and then therefore femininity is also seen as being weak.
Exactly.
I was just talking. Yeah, my friend was literally not my friend. He's not my friend. This is a coworker I used to work with. I hated this man. He's misogynist. He doesn't want to admit it, but he's a misogynist. He believes in old fashioned, and he's younger than me. And it is just sad. And
Yeah.
he was just talking about some. I feel like this generation is just trying to emasculate men. They want men to cry more, and they want to just make them more feminine and paint their nails. And I was just looking at this man like, this is why you look like how you look. You have a horrible hairline.
Mm,
Your skin is breaking out. Your lips are chapped.
uh,
You think because you go to the fucking gym, you're doing something? Oh, can I curse?
yes.
Okay, you think because you're going to the fucking gym, you're broing out? No, you're still fucking ugly. You're still like, you think because you have a no, you're not that. You're not that guy. You're not that fucking guy. And I just had to let him know something about himself and hang up on the phone. And it's just like, I
Mm-hmm.
just don't understand why there are men like that out here that just want to hold on to something that is just so toxic and not doing them any service at all. You're First of all, you're a black man, Negro. Get it together.
Come
You
on
are
now.
not reaping the benefits the same as these white men who made up the system in the first place of
Here.
patriarchy. You're not reaping the same benefits. You're not. And I just think that it's just I think but this is going off of topic. I just think that it's just like you say, it's rooted in a lot of misogynoir.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah. But you have to
that
say, okay, it's really bad in the black community because there's this misconception that the whole gay and trans concept is just the white man's plot to weaken the black family. And
which is dumb.
I'm just like, where is this coming from? Because aren't black gay couples adopting more?
Yeah.
Like, it's a two-parent household. They're
How
adopting
are
the
we
kids
ruining
with
the
straight.
black family? Wait a minute.
Well,
When absentee fathers are a thing, all right, no stereotype, but we gotta understand, like we are, you can't be saying that homosexuality is a plot to ruin the black family when there's in the heteronormative world, the black family is already in jeopardy.
That was
Exactly.
it was undone by the welfare system incentivizing single mothers and single parent households. That's the root of it. But then you have well, Dr. Umar pointed that out. He did in the Breakfast Club interview, but he also said like online, he kept saying like having people pose as trans or especially like or posing or having black trans women is to kind of steal the voice of so-called real black women um because black women are the most educated and the
Well,
most
Doctor
vocal politically.
Coon Bar, because he's a
He's
coon. God damn it.
more of a
Um,
hotep. I was it's giving hotep.
Hotep Coon, same. It's all the same thing to me, honestly. I don't give a damn. But he is talking about, oh, you're weakening the black community. How are you strengthening it? That's my question. What have you done significantly to strengthen it? Because people, and it's just a tit for tat game. And at the end of the day, we are fighting with each other instead of fighting with a real enemy. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying?
It's causing a
And
division.
exactly, and that was the whole point of it. If no one can see it, that was the whole point. Is to have us sit up here and talk about these juvenile things of, oh, trans this, trans that. When you don't have enough money to pay your light bill. Like, come on now. And a lot of things are happening in our society nowadays where we are sitting here discussing, things like transphobia and all this other stuff, when a lot of us, and I mean a lot of us, do not have generational wealth.
Right.
And it's really weird how we sit here and we talk about, oh, we need to come together as a community when nobody's coming together as a community. We're still busy fighting the same fight that we've been fighting since the freaking, like,
The
man.
the civil rights era, and how
Yeah.
we've been going really backwards because the Supreme Court has been overturning like almost anything and everything that would be beneficial to people of color and the queer community.
And now, and I'm not. I can only speak to as much research as I've personally done myself. This is happening not only not only visible to Black people because it's happened to all minorities and POCs. It happens to all of us, but now it's to the forefront where it's. To back then, it was the forefront to Black people specifically. The civil rights movement, like you said, Flo, and all this other stuff was very specific to Black people, and now it's to everybody who is the working class. Everybody has the shit end of the stick, especially the working class. And if you are not aware, everyone who is listening to this podcast is a part of the working class. If you do not have generational wealth, i.e., you have wealth to last you and
Ah.
generations behind you, then you are the working class. There's no in between.
Hmm.
And we are sitting here we are sitting here, discussing the most lamest things of like, oh, you're not a real woman, you're not you're not helping the Black community. How the black community get some generational wealth? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
And the whole idea of like, oh, two-parent household, that is based off a nuclear family, which profited white cisgendered people when that was created. That phrase, nuclear family, was coined by a white cisgendered man. You know what I'm saying? Like all this stuff, like, oh, we have to have a two-parent household, my mom and dad, and woo woo woo. That Black people weren't thought of because you know why? Because Black people were always working. We were always working, no matter what. When the first what do you call it, feminism movement happened, it was for women to be able to work and have jobs and all this other stuff. Black women have always been working.
Hmm.
You know, Black women didn't want, the right to work. They wanted the right to sit the fuck down. It's so weird that, you sit there and you conform to these ideations and these and this ideas and these societal norms when we weren't thought of when these norms were created. Come on now.
Right. Hold on. I'm gonna change my vehicle because I kind of noticed with other cars they're so much smaller. So hold on. We're gonna fix this because I'm not gonna keep taking these L's.
And
Continue.
also trans identities have been around for a long time, like
Harry,
documented
Harry.
these So I had to explain that. Like he was talking about some. Well, in our natural state, men and women, men gather. It's naturally just men and women. That's our natural state. But I had to aware them that like you have Native American tribes that are like two spirited people, meaning
Mhm.
that they are balanced between genders. Like they don't conform to one gender. Like that goes back. That's documented. I learned about that in a gender study class. So if you have documentation of trans and gender non-conforming people, you have it like predate, like date back, like back to like when Native Americans like ruled this land.
I think the term is
Why is this?
pre-colonial, because just like you said, all that stuff of like, oh, it's naturally men and women. That idea or that thought is a thought of a white man. All the
Yeah,
like that the things that we are referring to like before a white man touched it is pre-colonial. Like for example, another example of like two-spirited people. Uh, there is a nomadic tribe in parts of South Asia and India where these were these trans people were thought to be gifted, to be spiritually gifted and enlightened because they had two spirits, two souls in them. These are biological men who identified as women, and the people around in their society thought that they were so enlightened because not only are you now a man and a woman, but they thought they were freaking magical, aka drag queens are magical.
Mhm.
Come on now, like it's just it's and again all the facts of like, oh, it was always a man and a woman. That is the information like that is post colonial. You know?
post-colonial thinking.
Yeah.
Yes. Again, it doesn't benefit anybody but people who look like they can benefit it, i.e., not us.
Right.
And I this is another thing that makes me uncomfortable because I don't identify as only a I identify as I use they she pronouns.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And a lot of people just skip over the fact and just blatantly like cuz I know what I look like. I
Mhm.
don't look like your typical like I don't know how to describe it, but
You're more
people are going
femme
to assume
presenting.
yeah, I'm from presenting person now. So people are automatically going to assume my identity is a woman. So they
Mhm.
feel comfortable, and a cis woman at that. So people feel comfortable in light. Like it feels so embarrassing that they think that these ideas are so like normal. Like they feel comfortable talking to me in this transphobic rhetoric, so like normally, and that's a privilege I hate. Like I hate. Like I don't want to be like, well, it's me or anything, but I just don't like being able to like blend into that type of environment. If that makes sense.
Right, right. I get what you're saying because like people just assume that most black people are not on board with it or they feel like it's such a new concept. But I'm like, we have trans people out of school. Like in recent years, like I'm seeing more trans students that are coming out in high school um more than like in my all of my 9 years of teaching, which is a great thing. But I don't think we focus enough on having or just starting with like inclusive language. Oh my God, like I am running over it. I'm switch up my character and vehicle and everything, and I am just like still. Why does it feel like I'm going so slow? Like I am. Okay, I
And
digress.
even inclusive language, people are still getting pissed about it. Like I knew a guy who went to a university, and he was ranting and upset because he had to list his pronouns, and he was uncomfortable because he had to list his own pronouns. Why does that make
When
you
that's
uncomfortable?
not
Come on
even.
now.
It's not even that like complicated.
Yes,
Like
exactly.
because I had to start doing it when we first introduced students to the class. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? Because and even then they were just like, "What are pronouns?" I'm like, first of all, this is something you learn in like elementary English one, and then it's just like, how do you see yourself? Do you identify as a he, male, she, female, or you're like non-binary? I mean, you don't see yourself as either, or you know what I mean? But it's
Hmm.
just like people get like so confused by it. But it's like I'm glad that we're seeing that option on Instagram so that could be on your profile or like
Hmm.
any social media profile. The thing about like if I can find a way to do it graphically on the press passes, I want to add people's pronouns because sometimes that's a hard thing to bring up during introductions. Or they may not
Yes.
feel like it's a safe space to disclose that they're trans. But
Hmm.
you know what I mean, we're going to be working together in this space and other I may have to poll my students on that first before I add it, but I think like that's something I want to do to add to the press passes. Oh my, what is this map? I don't know, it fell. Okay. Oh my God. I hate the new I'm sorry to go off like a tangent because we're but what if you could see this? What oh, they're villains. What is this? What is this? Who picked this map? It's just like, oh my, it's just so much going on. I honestly don't know. Am I going this way? And it's a loop. There's a toilet? Am I in the bathroom? Oh my God. I need to find a new racing game because Mario Kart is just
My
it's just
favorite part of we do these is watch Flo get trashed in Mario Kart.
Yeah.
it's like it's so bad. I'm going through apparently a stink. It's a bad. Why is there like mixtapes in the bathroom? Who designed this?
Why are you
You know,
going off? You're
you
off track.
skin cable
Okay, hold on. I think I'm in the plumbing. Ew.
in there. How Flo doing?
I'm in 11th
You said
place.
what?
How bad is Flo doing?
I'm in
She's
11th
doing really good.
place.
Yeah, she's in 11th place.
Damn.
Like, it's just, oh. Is this crusty towels? Like, what is this? Who designed this? Ah.
And can I just say this real quick?
Hmm.
Growing up as a black, I'm gonna say black girl. Growing up as a black girl, I've always been, my femininity has always been questioned. I don't know. It's basically off of the way I look or the way I present myself, but it's always been in question. And I've always been like, oh, people always been, oh, you look like a man, yada yada yada, woo woo woo. But like, I've never like, but that I don't know. Maybe that it made me understand instead of like hating on trans women. It made me like be more understanding because I know like what it feels like to be questioned and
Hmm.
to be it's like be your question your femininity
Actually, let me
really
back
your
out.
womanhood be questioned just because of something like having fucking sideburns or some
Hmm.
shit like that, or like having hair in your arms, like shit like that.
Hmm.
Normal
Like
shit.
normal, like being a human.
Hmm.
Exactly. And it has made like it doesn't and I feel like her being mistaken for a trans woman is like it's called instead of her being understanding and being like, whoa, like is this really what it's like for them? It's just like she's want to distance herself as far. I'm talking about just hilarious. She wants to distance herself as far because she's insecure and she has like a it's internalized.
Yes,
It's
absolutely.
internalized. Very, very bad. Especially when it happens to her multiple times and people keep calling her a man, which is really sad if you think about it. But she's not taking it and trying to like say, oh yeah, I don't give a fuck about none of these. You're not gonna put me down as a black woman. You're not gonna masculinize me. She takes this as to take a shot at to put herself above a pedestal and call herself a real woman because she has a fucking uterus. She takes that. I just don't know. Maybe I'm just built. I don't know. I just don't understand.
I just don't
It's like
understand the threat. That's the thing. They
they
keep taking trans women as a threat, or, and I'm just like, it's not giving that. I mean, they're living in their truth. It is unfortunate that she goes through them being like misgendered, and you
yeah
would think you would click in her head like, okay, I don't like being misgendered, so like I know somebody else. wouldn't want this either.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But it's not clicking, Steven.
What's not clicking, Steven?
You know what I mean? But it was just so disheartening that she like went in and saying like calling it like mental illness. Like if she knew like the
Yeah.
history of the trans community is like or like the gay community has often been treated as a mental illness when they have been subjected to conversion camps,
Mm-hmm.
being put in mental hospitals when it's not. It's just like if she knew it's not like she wants to be educated either because T.H. Madison wanted to reach out because she commented on her post and wanted to reach out and like have a one-on-one conversation to educate her, but just wasn't having it.
And see,
And
that's when my problem really, like, that's when I get my blood boiling because we can joke all day, we can, make fun, whatever the case may be. We can do that all day long. But the moment I set up a space, a calm, space for us
hmm
to have a conversation, talk about it, because a lot of it is misinformation, and that is
hmm
100% okay. The society we live in. But if we open a space, and by we I mean anybody who operates in the LGBTQIA plus community, whoever operates in this community, um, when we open a space for cis people to talk and educate, and you refuse that invitation and combat with bigotry, it's just weird.
it is weird.
Yeah.
It's like it's super weird because like how someone else may view femininity doesn't impact my view or how I present my femininity. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because we like how many times has Megan Thee Stallion, Lady Gaga, Sierra have been called a man or trans in the press? Because that's like people forget like when Sierra first came out, that was the rumor like, oh, she's a trans woman or whatever, or she's a man. And I'm like,
Hmm.
this is like the problem with transphobia because like she may have been, not the traditional looking feminine woman, um, when she
Sierra is
first
beautiful. What?
but she
Yeah,
is, but that was like when
I.
she first came out,
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
that's what everybody kept saying. Oh, like, oh, that's a man. They did the same thing with Lady Gaga because like she was hypersexual. So it was just
Hmm.
like, oh, that has to be a man. You know what I mean? Like it was just ridiculous, crazy rumors because they did not fit the traditional feminine standard. And that's when we had, like, as you were saying earlier, like transphobia um, doesn't just impact the trans community, it affects anybody that maybe not femme presenting. You know what I mean? It
Yeah,
hurts.
because an elderly black woman was killed by a white supremacist because she was mistaken for a trans woman. So
Right.
it's affecting cis women. Transphobia affects every like cis women too, whether they want to admit it or not.
Hmm.
But they don't. Because they don't see it. And then it is striking that how they don't see the parallels because black women will go missing almost to the same rate as trans. If not the same rate, no, don't quote me on that. I wouldn't say the same rate, but are often the most attacked. I'm trying different cards, different characters. It is just not working. Mm, But just appearing. I lost my train of thought. Hold on. I had a point. But as black women, we're often attacked. We often go missing at a higher rate, and not much effort is being used to find us. And the same goes for like trans women, especially black trans women. Like how many of those murders that go unsolved? So what we need to do as a community, and y'all can disagree or agree in the comments, is just like let this go. You know what I mean? This is not the real battle. You know what I'm saying? Like Roe v. Wade has been overturned. Affirmative
Mm.
action has been overturned. Um, there's a loophole in a way to discriminate against the LGBTQ community. There are bigger things at stake than, fighting over definition and labels. You know what I mean? And we need to get our act together because, like, as you saw in the Montgomery, Alabama brawl, like, what happens when we could come together and, be by each other's side? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So can we have that type of energy?
Period.
Oh my God. Like, I just need to
Girl,
pump the brakes on the turns because I'm just like,
they whooped their ass. Nah, I'm so happy to see it.
isn't, like it was like not even a question or hesitation to come to somebody's defense. And that's what we need to start doing. Like, we need to have, I don't know, there needs to be a town hall. I don't know, like, somebody need to educate Dr. Umar because there be times he be having valid points because he did have a point when it came to like um, welfare being incentive to like break up the family and the discontinuation of factories and the push for college education uh to get good jobs when in reality a lot of people with degrees maybe getting underpaid,
Hmm.
underemployed. Those were
He be
solid points. It's be like he homophobic and transphobic for real, for
yes, and
real.
that's what pissed me off because he be making such good ass points, and then boom, here goes the fucking oh my god, I'd be so mad. I'd be like, oh my god, you was on a roll, you goddamn coon. Mm.
Like it's like come on. Can we have like other uh, oh my God, stay on the track. Um like leaders in the community to like really get everybody together because like some of y'all like really rooting for it just hilarious, but I'm just like I know she works with trans people on Wild 'N Out or or femme presenting gays on the show. So I'm like, what, you know what I mean?
No, but people tend to they like saying I'm cool with like I'm cool with the gays, but I feel like transgenders are doing too much. And
That's
that just
weird.
really annoys me and it's just so ignorant and stupid. It's such a dumbass statement. Like girl, we're a community. It's not separate. We're all together. It's different identities and sexualities and stuff like that, but together we're all queer presented people. We're all a part of the community. So if you don't fuck with one of us, you don't
You
fuck
don't
with
fuck
none
with
of us.
none of us.
You
Right.
don't
Period.
fuck with none of us.
I mean,
Ugh.
just think about like Martha P. Is it Martha P. Johnson?
Yeah.
Hmm.
There
Yeah.
was like a trans black woman during the time of Stonewall, and
And she threw that fucking brick, girl. She threw it.
you know what I mean?
Not that white boy named Tommy that they tried doing the little movie. It
Who?
was Martha P. They made a Stonewall movie and they centered it around a white twink saying that he threw the first brick. He started the movie.
What
They,
the? Oh,
Oh my
girl.
god! Nobody remembers that. It's called
I
Stonewall.
didn't
Look
know
that
No.
shit
that.
up.
I've only seen the Stonewall mentioned in like drunk history, so I didn't
I'm
see
not
like the
tripping.
documentary.
It's
What is
not.
it?
No, it's a movie. It's a movie. Like it's fictionalized movie. Like it's a movie. Dramatized. Like it's
I'm so
somebody.
glad
It's
I don't
this
know what.
white boy that's not from the city. Like this country white boy comes to New York, named Tommy, throws the first stone ball.
I hope
It's,
everybody in production of that movie never sees the light of fucking day. That is disgusting. What the hell?
I know I'm not tripping. Yeah, it's called Stonewall.
Ugh.
And his name is Danny. Oh god.
Oh God. You know what? Mm. And see, that's another point and reason why I'm be talking about. Y'all be wanting all this security and all this shit.
What
They're literally erasing black, like, things that black people do to set forth movements and replacing them with white motherfuckers.
whitewashing? They're
Ugh.
literally like whitewashing history. We truly hate these new maps because it looks like you could turn two ways, and then all of a sudden it's like a late signal to which way am I? Oh my God. You know what it is, what it is. I would just say like I need to have a time where I could like play against somebody, because I feel like I'm not. Never mind. It no matter who I play against, because these turns, child, just pray for me. That's all I gotta say when it comes to this game. Just pray. I may have to switch. I'm gonna see if I can switch to my Joy Cons to see if I do a little bit better. Maybe, since I don't drive in real life, it's translating here. But go ahead and continue, because that's the other issue. Like we're dealing with the whitewashing of history. We are.
Mm,
If you look at Florida, like
girl.
like transphobia, homophobia, erasure of
Oh
everything
my,
black with DeSantos, DeSantis, Presidos.
What
the
Um,
could have
who?
been? How about that? Oh God.
like he is doing everything he can to.
He is
If
teaching
it's
kids.
not white, wait, is he Latino?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think
So a
so.
person of color who's, to be honest, he looks white passing.
What
That
do they
is,
call? Like, what's a Latino coon? If anybody in the comments, if you know what a Latino coon is or a Latino version of a coon, let me know. I want to know.
please, not you fishing
It
for slurs.
because mm,
Come on, come on.
Latino Uncle Tom.
And why
Oh
is
my
everybody
god,
going the opposite way? Like, am I going the wrong way? Why are they coming towards me? They must have finished the race already.
this is so off topic, but I just saw it on my Twitter. Like people still think that Tory Lanez is innocent. I'm so sorry to say something about it, but it's jerking me. Cause the
Mm,
dude, the date said that too. He was just adding on to the list of no nos, like red flags. He said, "I think the dude's innocent." I said, "What?"
What? What
I
dude?
said, "So we have all this, we just conspiring against Tory Lanez 2 foot tall ass. What? What
bye,
do we? He don't even have a BET award. What do
bye,
we have to gain from one in Tory Lanez behind bars?
bye.
That is a separate episode, because there's so many things
Sorry,
that are coming out about that. But I do want to get back to another celebrity that we should probably focus on, Neo, because Neo was like he he doesn't understand giving a trans child a choice in selecting their gender. They're just like, why do they have a say in such a major decision? And I'm just like,
because
wow, wow, Neo, why? Why,
that's just
Neo?
so dumb. Like children don't like when I was at an age where I knew who I was. I knew who I was at a young age. I knew I was different whether I didn't know what it was specifically. I didn't have the terminology for it, but I knew something from a young age. I knew a different breed. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like letting children be able to express themselves is healthy for their mental health. For their like, I just think it just makes them less depressed. And I think that we all want our children to be happy and comfortable with themselves. I hope so, because if you don't, you're a horrible parent. Sorry. No shade. Because
But
I just think that people be like, oh, children don't know what they want, but like
yes, they
I
do,
feel like
or
they
at
do.
least
Like
having room to experiment, though. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Because what I've kind of having conversations with some of my trans students, it's like they knew who they were like as early as 8. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
hmm,
So, and it's not like it's being taught to them because they're coming from very transphobic households.
Very.
exactly,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? So it's not
Yeah.
like it's being fed to them. If they don't see themselves as their biology, there's no harm in that. I think like my only concern with, having an LGBT Q child is just their safety. because the world is just so unaccepting. That's the
Mm-hmm.
only concern that you would really need to have. But instead of like just dismissing it, or because like I would say like at work with some of the trans students, we have to code switch because there are some parents like we would try to refer the student to their new name, but the parent immediately shuts that down. They would either say like, "Who are you talking about?" or like, "No, their name is what they gave them," and it is like so disheartening because like you could almost see how that's affecting um the student and the fact that like and you, it like when you're in the position of like of a teacher, it's like you almost can't really challenge the parent on that. I really wish that we could have workshops with parents about that have trans students or just something because like you said it does affect their mental health. Like I would see kids go into depression over that they're not able to fully express um their gender, and there's like so many lingering questions when it comes to exploring their gender because like as we said there's no traditional um definition, like to be honest, ever. um you know what I mean? So what does it mean to express yourself as a man? What does it mean to express yourself as a woman? Because like there's no clear definition, so like what does that look like to them? But there's
Without
no
going by the Eurocentric versions of what those two things mean, can
right,
y'all tell me what it really means to be a man or to be even a woman?
right. And it's kind of hard because they just don't have uh, the room to experiment because a lot of times like it is just dismissed. So it's a rock and hard place. So I wish that one, if you're not familiar with my school or you ever been there, like you would know, like they have advisories broken up by gender, like gender that within the binary, so either male or female. So
They that shit.
this, yeah, they still do it, and I'm just like, this is so dumb. Like, why?
I never
Some of
say to
them,
mine.
I didn't
that's
even
what
go
I'm
to mine
saying.
either. All the queer
All
Americans never
because
even went to advisor.
it's
You know
just
what the
like
you know what the funny part is? They didn't. They never cared. Never, not once. It's
it's,
no. Let me rephrase that. None of the female teachers cared because they knew.
they
You
knew it's like
know
you felt safer in like the girls advisory
exactly.
because it was just like so homophobic
Mhm.
and
Let it be. Let it be a man teacher or a fucking gym coach. Yeah, I got your back, bitch. I'ma fuck you up when I see you.
wait, were they on your side or
No,
no?
they weren't. They
Oh,
weren't.
well,
That's why I said what I said.
mm, I'm
Sorry?
saying it,
What's wrong?
You
but
said
I
what?
mean, but like I was saying, it's just like it's why do we still have that? Because one, we're seeing a rise in trans kids, so like if we just made it mix, so you won't have to be identified by your gender, and this would help kids that can't be out at home, like some a little bit closeted and feel more comfortable. I don't want to hear that excuse. Well, if we're talking about um girl or boy issues, it's more comfortable, to speak in like the same sex advisory. And I'm just like, so y'all gonna have one-sided conversations instead of like having different points of view. The hell, like both y'all need to hear what y'all saying. And then it's more comforting for those that may be non-binary and don't see themselves fitting with any. You, like I think it's gonna take a while for schools to really get caught. Well, I wouldn't say that. What was that? There's this HBO show. I don't think this. I don't know what it's like in like other states or other schools. Do my research in terms of like how they may handle, not handle, but to create safe spaces for the LGBTQ kids because we need to make sure that they make it through high school because it's already a struggle. But when you add, these other elements, it's like it's even harder. And to
Mhm.
have open dialogue, but not with just like other kids, but staff members too. Because to be honest, some of them just don't, just don't get it. Oh my
Exactly.
God. Huh?
Huh?
Look at it. Bro. Like, and I see others going over the edge as well. Must be way behind. Like everybody else must be in laps 3. Cause I'm like, I'm seeing them, but like my number is not going up whatsoever. Yep. It struggling. I need to do my research and see like what is like the fastest configuration. Cause it's just not giving. So hold on, I'm gonna try to like wrap this up because I'm tired. I'm like I've been struggling so much. Um, but just kind of close out. No matter what point in your life, whether it's your job, high school, college, like there needs to be more conversation of what it means to be trans, what we can do to make the trans community or the whole LGBTQ community, to be honest, more comfortable in spaces. Like one, let's get rid of these singular gender advisories because it's dumb at this point. Y'all need to learn how to coexist with other people, whether they're in the gender binary or outside of it. They Students need to be educated on this now because, like, when they get to college, you're gonna see everybody under the rainbow, like
Mm-hmm.
everybody. You know what I'm saying? Is that you, myself?
Mm-hmm.
What you
Sorry.
mean?
Yeah.
I was just like, okay, like you know what I mean? When you get to college, like there's every flavor under the rainbow there. You need to learn how to be welcoming to people because at the end of the day, like how somebody sees themselves or how they identify does not impact you whatsoever. This whole fear, panic, it's not even fear, this hatred because you feel like trans people may be trying to trick you or whatever. I'm just like, y'all swear up and down it's
See,
easier to tell. Like you could clock. Y'all just said y'all
girl,
because y'all don't want to get caught. That's the thing. Like y'all don't want to be caught
they
with
don't
a
even care
trans
about the clock
lover.
at the end of the day.
Period. Okay, because I ain't
It was,
never been clocked. Okay, friend.
it was never even about the clock. It's that they don't want to be embarrassed. And it's like, it's only embarrassing if you make it weird. It's only weird if you make it weird. Like, you have to learn how to respect all people in general.
Mhm. Mhm.
From, you know, height, race, ethnicity, identification, girl, like color, if you don't eat pork, etc. Like you gotta respect all people, and it's just like they want to draw the line at something because uh, they feel like we're messing up tradition. Everything's always been about messing up tradition, but
But the
tradition was made a
tradition's
certain
been
way.
wrong.
Yeah,
Mhm.
It's
and it was
been
made a
it's
certain way by
wrong.
different attempts of survival. Like we're not blowing up from getting a scar on your motherfucking arm in the fucking 1930s no more. Like medicine has come so far. So certain things are put in a certain way so the lifespan can extend. But the world's gonna blow up anyway. Like we're not even in global warming no more. We're in global fucking boiling. Like y'all worried about the wrong thing.
That's what I'm
Y'all
saying.
are
It's
worried
just
about the wrong thing. Y'all want to
like
draw the line at people's identity and their sexual preference. But the Pope, ooh, oh, sorry, I don't know about this Pope, but some of them other popes been touching children since the dawn of time. Like so, and a lot. You know what? It's just too much to unpack here. So continue.
But you're right. It's just like we need to stop spreading this propaganda and this misinformation. Like trans people, LGBTQ, drag queens are after your kids. They don't like your kids. They don't want your kids. They just want to be their authentic selves, live in peace, because how they present themselves, how they see themselves, um, it doesn't impact you whatsoever. How they define femininity and womanhood does not diminish your sense of womanhood. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, 'cause y'all was talking about Just Hilarious, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There, let me just, I don't know what y'all really see, but let me just say what I gotta say.
Go ahead, speak your piece.
Um, they were right when they said that she has a personal vendetta towards trans people because she's always kind of been a woman who has looked like she's been on the spectrum. There's nothing wrong with that. They try to indict like, but does not imply like certain transphobia. No, because trans people aren't saying that we're 100% dropping all of our traits or body parts from our previous person. You know, trans is a spectrum.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So trans women come in very different shapes and sizes. So in this case, I can understand why she was hurt because uh, a lot of people, a lot of men that have been in her life have hurt her through trans women, and that, a lot of just like when it's a display of like infidelity, where it's just it can be another woman involved, and you choose to hate between the other woman, and not trying to put the hate on that man. That's where the correlation is.
Mm-hmm.
And T.S. Madison tried to come out and help her, and she sat there and she attacked her.
Right.
T.S. Madison did not call her out her name. She did not say that she was wrong for this, she was wrong for that. She was trying to educate her. T.S. Madison's always tried to educate people, and she didn't start going below the belt until they started trying to embarrass her and put her personal identification and stuff out there like that.
Oh
Like
yeah.
she's not out in the public eye for what the past 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
She has been a trailblazer in the trans community, and then she went out of her way. Ooh, then she went out of her way to go attack Miss Angelica Ross, and it's just like you want to imply that this isn't about transphobia and this and that, but y'all are trying to equivalate um mental illness, like heavy mental illness, with transism, and that's not true. And
Right.
that's like the issue. Like you were sitting here having a personal vendetta towards somebody because you literally physically cannot change how you were born, and that's the same fight we're fighting for. You know,
Right.
trans women are not fighting to be real women. Trans men are not fighting to be real men.
Mm-hmm.
Have
Mhm.
our own niche or group of people because we know that there are things that do make us different, you know. And that's just the thing. Like people always think they're trying to take away from something else, but nobody started this competition thing until you started getting worried about what somebody else is motherfucking doing.
Mm.
Worry about yourself. Worry about why your man left you.
Oh.
Worry about why your son don't got no daddy at home.
Oh.
Period.
That's what motherfucking uh that fucking just hilarious bitch need to be worried about. Who's we talking about?
We were also talking about like Neo and his comment.
Oh,
In
not him.
turn,
What was the girl we was originally talking about? The one I was beefing with. She has Madison.
it was just
Her.
hilarious. Was it TK?
Oh, that's her. Oh, you know, in my mind, I was thinking that bitch like
Tasha
Tasha
K.
K. She look like Tasha K. But them bitches with them motherfucking pixie cuts need to worry about what the fuck they got going on over there with their Fantasia cuts and shit. Like nobody's worried about what you're doing with your life. Trans people are just trying to exist and exist in peace. And I'm not saying that all trans people are good people, but all cis people are not good people either. So y'all need to stop pointing the finger where it's going to be three pointing back. Period.
Mhm.
And y'all talking about we're trying to force uh, surgeries and a different lifestyle on children. These children are literally killing themselves. They can't be who they want to be.
Or
Like
can't like or present themselves how they identify. Because like
they're
just to
going to look
clarify,
up
they
the
don't
surgeries,
get major surgeries or none of that until they had to be 18. And even
right?
then,
And
it's a whole lengthy process where they,
it's a lot of therapy
yeah, a
and
lot
a
of
lot of
therapy.
appointments and a lot of money.
Mhm.
So like
That's not
these
always
people are
like
going to look up their options in the first place, whether they go through with it or not. Like this has nothing to do with what they're exposed to. They're going to try to figure out what is wrong with them, quote unquote, regardless, because they know something. It makes them different.
Hmm. So let them try to
Man,
figure
it's
it out or
ridiculous.
experiment with it. But let's be honest, the real reason why you just want to keep the binary male and female is because a lot it has nothing to do with Jesus. It has nothing to do with being it's like them defying God's will or whatever. It's like y'all just want to see who you can easily sleep with.
And
That's
and
it.
it's also
That's the
all
tea.
about profit. It's all about profit as well. Like we split things to boy, girl, male, female because it gives you a linear place where you can how you can price things. You know,
Oh, the
the
pink
stores
tax.
like I literally
Yeah.
work at a retail store. We market things specifically so women will this will target women of a certain age or this will target men of a certain age, etc. You know, so
But
go figure.
But if we start making everything gender neutral, that's gonna make every like just really fuck up the bag.
And it doesn't stop making you special. Like
Right.
you can still be a girl, a cis woman, and be special. Like
Like grow
I like being a girl. I
personality.
like having my own category. Okay, I like being a boy. I like having my own category. Okay, that's cool for you, but we're talking about the people who don't even have a voice.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's like whenever they want to speak and express their true gender identity. Oh, I didn't even get into intersex people because they don't get
Hmm
talked about enough. Because it completely shatters this whole argument about like sticking to your biology, because you can have somebody that has the XY chromosome, which is like for boys, but then have all the lady parts. So what is that? So you know what I mean? Or that may
hmm
have both, like a penis and a vagina.
Or you can naturally just have more testosterone.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
There was this track star, this woman track star who identifies as a woman who just naturally produced more testosterone. I can't think of her name right now. If you know who I'm talking about, you can put her name in the comments. Um, she has been banned from running in her sport because they swear up and down that she's trans. But she has done everything to even say like she will show them her vagina. Like that's how badly that she wants to race and prove that she is a woman. But they're saying because like she has so much testosterone that she can't compete. Ain't that a bitch?
Yeah, because we also forget that a lot of teen girls can be put on hormone blockers or testosterone blockers because it's affecting their periods, it's affecting their puberty. It's
Mm-hmm.
not even just for trans people. Like it
Right.
exists for everyone. Like these gender affirming surgeries, it may sound weird we call it gender affirming, but to get a breast augmentation either way, it's still gender affirming.
We
To get
said that. It's because it's like if y'all think trans people are fake, what y'all think about the Kardashians? What do you think
girl
about
fucking
like what do
sorry.
y'all think about anybody that has like a BBL? Because most of y'all be clamoring for that. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and
Like
wrap it up because we're
what's her
oh.
face? The girl from the what's that tattoo show? Black Ink Crew?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That girl, she has a vaginoplasty. Like she goes on to talk about she has a man made vagina. Like anything she popped out, she was right on her own. She's a cis woman, but she just wanted her her cat to be tight again, and she got a vaginoplasty.
Queen.
But people don't see that though. It's just like they want to use the biology argument. They want to use the religious argument. And I'm just like, as you said before, Marcel, it's like they're focused on the wrong thing. There's so many other issues that we need to be addressing within the Black community as a society as a whole. Um, but it's this is nothing more than a distraction, and we need to ensure that we are focused. As I said before, like we do great things when we come together. We saw that with the boat brawl. We see that when we're in collaborative environments. With Black Lives Matter was first kicking off, The LGBT community was there for us, so we need to make sure that we are there for them. We'll go ahead and wrap up the show because it's like a little bit past an hour. Um, but again, thank you all for watching. I appreciate your support. Virtual Road Rage merch. I do have some up on the website now, noirneonvibes.org/shop. So make sure you go check that out. And make sure that you like, subscribe, share this with as many people as possible and help our network grow. Thank you again to Saquon, Anira, and Marcel for popping in and joining this conversation. Thank you to my viewers that are watching. And I want to hear more from y'all. Make sure that y'all ask your questions, participate in the conversation because we all, grow together when we are talking. And thank you for watching me rage and do badly in Mario Kart. I will catch you guys next Wednesday. I'm going to try to make Wednesday my day to spend an hour with you guys. I'm going to try to do that and just do a better job of promoting this because a lot of times school is starting back up. There's a lot of things going on, but I will try to work everything out. So I will catch you guys next Wednesday. All right, bye. Say bye, everybody.
Bye.